Alright, now, so if I add in the image instead of just like a link, it will actually get rid of that hyperlink and instead be clickable so that I can click on that image to go somewhere instead of a link. So it's useful for many different things. A lot of people use it as like how to get back to the home page. You can click on like a little icon or symbol at the top left somewhere, and it'll take you back to the home page. So that's an option. But notice there is no text here. Stop doing that. There's no text here in between the opening A tag and the closing A tag to like be a hyperlink, like this says forms, because the image is going to be the target. If you did type something here, that would also be a target to click on, but you don't usually want two things there, so there shouldn't be any confusion. So this is what it should look like here. Okay, so I can click on this and I can click on that, but there's nothing else around that I can click on. All right. All right, so just be familiar with line breaks. You don't have to do the /BR. You can just do BR, and this is just to add some space between your content. You don't always want things right on top of each other. You want things kind of spread out. All right, so relative links. Okay, make your About page. We created an HTML basics lesson. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of change these. Come here, I'm going to put a couple line breaks. Alright, now I'm going to connect my About page equals about.html, and then about me. Alright, now I can go File, Save. Boom. That goes to my About Me page. Alright, now notice there's nothing to come back. Alright, and we'll get to that. Alright, file management. Okay, we've already kind of talked about it. So there's things called parent and child. So the parent is this folder. You've got like child folders and grandchild and stuff like that. Well, this would probably be your parent here, but then child and grandchild and stuff like that. Nothing you're really going to need to worry about, but basically just know how things are saved and nested between your folders and subfolders, things like that. So not too worried about that, but just know the parent folder is always the one above the current folder. So the grandparent would be two above it, so on and so forth. You can kind of see this here. So users, averm, desktop, my website, content, and then where I am. Okay, this is my file. So if I was in content, the grandparent would be desktop. Okay, the parent would be websites, so on and so forth. All right, so we're not going to worry about that. Email to. All right, for an email link, use mail to. BR. So ahref equals mail to, and then type in your email address there and say email me. Okay, don't type my email address, just type yours. And then we'll double check it. Yeah, so we don't have an actual Outlook or Gmail client that's set up for our website. So it's not going to do anything. But type in yours just for the syntax practice. Bookmark. Alright, so this one's going to be very handy, especially if you have a website that has a lot of content. So Bookmark Link navigates the user to a different part of the same web page. First, you must identify the initial location you want the bookmark to navigate to. For example, if Forms page name label is located, you could create a bookmark like this. Okay, so let's see. H3ID NL name label. So if I go to my Forms, file open, Forms. Alright, found my label name. So I'm going to come in and do, and y'all do this as well, H3ID equals NL. And then name label. Alright. Close the H3. And by opening a page in a browser, you'll notice the code is add a new label at the top. So if you file save. And then I go and open Forms. Now here's my name label. Alright. Now, if we wanted to get to that label, let's say from the bottom, okay, we're all the way down, we kind of want to go back to the top, okay. Let's do it under the form. We're going to do this, href equals hashtag NL. Okay, and file save, and refresh. So now this would take me back to the top. So a lot of times on a website you'll see, back to the top. If you got all the way down and you want to click back to go all the way up really quick instead of having to scroll all the way up. Very nifty little trick. Obviously, if it's a single page like this, not super useful. But if you have, you have to scroll a lot to go down to the bottom or to find a specific part, you can do that. You can also do this, the ID. Where did it go? The ID pretty much anywhere. So I could put this in a paragraph section or an input type or anything like that. I can basically put it anywhere because the ID is just like an identification for this tag, and it just gives it basically like a variable name. Okay. All right, making progress. All right, so now what I need you to do, you're going to create some links so that your website will feel more like a real site and add the ability to navigate between your pages. All right. Focus for your website is for your computer science related career that you chose. Okay, so by this point you should have created a few pages and saved to your My Site folder, content folder, as well as the same structure in Google Drive. So make sure you've uploaded stuff into your drive. Create navigation links from your home page, from HTML Basics Practice, things like that. So apply your email link skills. You should create a contact me link on your home page as well, and use your own Alvin IC Gmail address. Remember, without a default email client, you won't actually be able to email, or no one will be able to email you. Have students add a link to back to your home page to all other web pages on your site. So I'm going to show you how to do this the easiest way. Let me see if I can open my index file. Let's see, do I have my website's index? Okay. So here's how we're going to do this. href is equal to index.html home, and then we're just going to make some more. href equals about.html, and of course if you have different naming, do not use the exact same naming as me, because it won't work. Okay, so make sure you put the correct files that you do have. I believe this one I'm going to need to fix my pathway. We'll double check. Alright, so but we should have lists. Oh, if I spelled that right, it might help too. Href content. Okay, so there's an underline, so I did something right. So href equals. So I can go into content and choose. Okay. Forms. Oops. Let me put this in the right spot. There we go. Better. href equals content lists href. It's nice when it kind of does it for you. Content table elements tables href equals content multimedia site Remember, the white text is what shows up on the website. These are just the links to those. Okay, so we're about to see if this will actually work. So file save. Before I do my next step, I want to make sure. So my website's index. So home takes me back to home. About me could not be accessed. Forms. Okay, so I just need to take off that, and I bet that would fix that. About me. Okay. Forms. Lists. Nothing there because I don't have anything on that content. Multimedia site. That was messed up. I think I saved it in the wrong spot. But yeah, so you should do this. Alright, and then what you're going to do is copy and paste this to all of your different websites at the top of each of the websites. This is a navigation bar. Okay, so copy and paste that to every one of your websites that's listed here, so that, you know, if I go to my About page, I can come back to it. I can do this and I can do that. Just navigate around so I don't get stuck anywhere. Okay, so I can go to my About Me. Okay, let's see, forms, boom. Lists, nothing there. Tables, nothing there. About Me, okay. So I'm running into issues on my end, but it's just because it hasn't been done right on my end. But yours should be fine. So copy and paste this to each of your websites. Make sure everything is coded correctly. I believe the issues I'm probably needing that. Let me double check. So file save. I don't know my forms. So go ahead and fix any pathways with your hierarchy stuff that we talked about earlier, and turn in your index.html to the assignment. Turn in your homepage or your index.html with your navigation links done correctly. Okay.